Welcome to Rouge Mindset. Today I am with a fighter that I truly admire. I have seen him compete many times, and we are here. He's born and raised in Staten Island, right?
Correct.
So he fights with explosive power, sharp hands, and he always has a relentless pressure. So his fights are always really amazing to see and to watch. So I'm here with Rob Scopelliti.
Yes.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much. So, Rob, you are actually my first interview here in the US. So
Oh,
I'm
wow,
really
beautiful.
happy.
Awesome.
So that's great. So, and we are here at Legion Muay Thai.
Yep.
Thank you so much for your coach, Vinny,
Yes,
for letting
you're very
us use this space. Thank you.
Anytime.
Thank you. So, I want to ask about the fight that really stuck in my mind was in December, last December, at Warriors Cup, right?
Yes.
So I really enjoy watching that fight because as I saw you, it's like you were already like really locked in mentally. And then you started since the first second dominating the fight.
Yes.
So how did you feel about that moment?
Yes, I remember in the warm-up room, just, I'm not sure if you ever go back there, but I always just put a towel over my head and I close my eyes. And as you know, they make us show up many hours early, so you kind of just have to let the time pass. So I just like to keep calm, and everyone's warming up and you hear all the pads smashing, everyone's getting ready. So I just try and stay calm, and that day I just felt good. I was really calm in my mind, and I had a lot of friends that came out to watch me. I knew what I wanted to do, so I warmed up not too long, honestly. It was very fast. I warmed up in the staircase right before, and then we just went out, and I knew what I wanted to do. I knew that I wanted to come out hard, strong, and like you said, be relentless for those, was it 6 minutes? I just
Was a
locked
really
in.
fast fight,
Yes.
right? So it was against Eric Mogras, right?
Yes, and I believe he was from Boston.
Okay.
He flew in, so it kind of felt like a big deal for me. You know, someone was flying in to fight, and I just really wanted to win. I just was so locked in and excited. So, and I believe that was for the title, the Warriors Cup.
Yes, the Warriors
So,
Cup, yeah.
I was really eager. My coach was really pushing me. He really wanted to bring it home. So it was a good feeling.
It's a really great feeling. But then the fight only lasted one round, right?
Yeah, the first round.
The first round, it was so quick.
Yes,
So it was 1, 2, 3, boom.
Yeah, right
knockout.
after the first minute, it was over.
And did you thought that way? That was your plan, your strategy?
I honestly, I didn't even know the fight was over when they called it. I was getting ready to go back out, because the way I wrestled growing up, and the way that I was brought up was you never look at the clock, you never look how much time is left, you never look at the score. In my mind, I'm always losing. I'm always down by 1 point. So when the ref pulled me off, I just went to the corner and I was getting ready to go right back. And then I looked and everybody was cheering and I was like, what the hell is going on? I didn't know.
Wow.
And then that's when I knew when my friend came up on the stage to grab me. I was like, oh, wow, we won.
Yeah, I remember the environment, everybody shouting your name. I mean, you have many people like the way, your style, and they are cheering for you always, right? I have seen that many times. And is there any other Warriors Cup fight that you remember just like this one that you enjoyed? And
this one, like you said, for you, it also stuck out for me. It was my first time competing in that arena where the fans actually are above. There's a section that they're actually above the ring looking down at me. And that was so cool. When I saw the pictures of the arena, I always said, oh, I would love to compete here. So for me, actually getting to compete there, and my friends were up behind my corner, and I had some friends down below. It was cool. Just you could hear everything echo and come down on you. So that really stuck out for me.
So you hear the people around you, because I mean, you have so many things to focus. You cannot you need to stay in the fight. But then what do you hear? Like, and also your coach, you have to listen to what he's saying.
Right.
So
it's hard sometimes to hear him. Over the time, you get to like kind of tone out everything, and you only hear the coach's voice after a while, because I know what to listen for.
Okay.
And certain key words. But one of my friends in particular, his voice cuts through the crowd, because I'm pretty good at toning it out, but I always hear my one friend. He's got a very distinct voice. So when he screams my name, I always know it's him. So besides that, you kind of don't really hear the crowd too much. You just hear roaring, but I don't really know what they're saying.
Yeah.
It's really just me and just kind of like white noise.
Yeah.
So.
And that arena is really nice, and it's really professional.
Yes.
The fights and everything.
And Warriors Cup does a great event with the lights and the steam and all that fun stuff. So
I like
it's cool. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. That friend is the one that always comes with you to the fights. Is that the
that's
same?
my friend Tullis. He goes every single fight. He's never missed a fight.
Okay.
And even when I've flown around the world, he's came with me.
Wow.
Twice, and next week I'm fighting in Mexico. He's coming with me.
Mexico, I'm from Mexico.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so we will talk about that.
Yeah, all right.
Well,
yes,
okay,
yes.
nice, perfect. The first time in Mexico, you will be there.
I've been on vacation there, but I've never competed there.
Okay, so I would like to know about that in a while. So continuing, I wanted now to know how did you started your path in martial arts? I know that you started wrestling as a young kid. So how was it?
Yeah, so wrestling for me, really, I wouldn't be who I am without it.
Yes.
And I remember, I think my parents just wanted to get me out of the house. I went to go watch a cousin of mine wrestle, and I was very young, maybe third grade.
Okay, that's like 8 years old?
Yeah, something around that.
Okay.
And then I came home, I told my family I wanted to wrestle, and they were like, I don't know. And then I remember my mom telling my dad, maybe it'll get his energy out and it'll be good. So finally they let me compete and go, and I did it ever since, all through high school. And I made my closest friends I met through wrestling. And that sport to me is one of the toughest sports, and it just builds your mind and fortifies your mind and teaches you how to do hard things. And there's a quote by a famous wrestler, and he says, everything else in life is easy once you wrestle. Okay. And that's how I truly feel, because it teaches you how to control your mind. And if you could control your mind, you could do anything. So that's how I feel.
It's like the base also, right?
Right.
For MMA, like many of them have like the basics of wrestling.
Yes.
Okay.
100%.
So you stopped at 18, around that age?
Around that time, yes. My college didn't have wrestling, and I kind of stopped. And then, you go to college, you start partying a little bit and drinking. My friends, I never went too crazy, but we would go out on the weekends. And then where I went to school, there was always people fighting. It was drunk, just stupid fights.
Okay.
And never started because of me, but my friends would get into fights, and then I would have to jump in and help them. So then I told my friend Tullis, I said, we should learn how to fight, because we're getting into all these fights every week.
Okay.
So then when we would come home from school, we found this gym, and we would train for a couple months and then go back to school and fight, and then come home, train. And then once school stopped was when I started coming here a little more. And I actually was going to quit. I was like, I'm done. And my coach was like, I never knew you were a quitter. You didn't seem like a quitter. And he would tell me every day for like a month. And then finally I said, okay.
But why do you want to quit? Because it was too much?
No,
a commitment?
No, I just where I was at in my life, I didn't see the path of where I wanted to be.
Okay.
And I started a new job here, and I just was gonna be like everybody else and I'll just work and, do my own thing. I never really saw the path that I wanted to go down. And until he kind of laid the groundwork and said, you're not a quitter. And he told me, he asked me if I wanted to compete. And that's when it kind of got everything flowing again and sparked the interest. I said, okay, let's do it. Let's start. And then ever since that first fight, I've been hooked.
Okay, so I wanted to ask about that first fight. How was your first fight
Yes.
in Muay Thai? Was it a smoker or?
Oh, no, it was for the national tournament.
Okay,
Yes,
perfect.
it was novice. So everybody who I competed against, you have, I think it was 0 to 3 or 2 fights. So it was a tournament style. We flew out to Chicago, me and a group of my friends, and we made a little trip out of it. It was awesome. I had my first fight. If you lose, you're out.
Yeah.
So I had my first fight, we won. And then I had my second fight for the championship, the gold, and we won. So it was such a good feeling when just winning gold and driving away with my friends, and we were in a different city, and then we were partying after we won. And I just said, this is what I would love to do. If I could make a job out of this, this is my dream.
Yeah, the feeling you must.
Yes. I just felt, proud of myself, and everyone around me was so proud. And I said, if I could do this for the rest of my life, I will.
But how did you manage that nerve anxiety maybe before the fight? Because the first fight is like something different.
Well, like you said, wrestling laid the groundwork.
Okay.
So for me, I've competed in wrestling hundreds of times, maybe like 250 matches. And it was ever since I was a little kid. So you grow up with those nerves and they never go away. Even now, I still get nervous, but you learn how to control your mind and stay relaxed, like I said, and you can't let it get to you. Nerves are good because it makes you train hard and you're always worried if you're doing enough, but you can't let it consume you. So there's a balance. It's good and it's bad.
And I have heard from other fighters that they can have some anxiety before, but once they step into the ring, everything disappears and then you just go. Once happens to you.
Yeah, once the bell rings, even with wrestling, once they blew the whistle, everything's gone.
Wow.
You have to you're just in that adrenaline and you don't care about anything anymore.
Wow. No, that feeling. I mean, and most of the fighters say, I enjoy the fight. I say, oh my God, I enjoy like being hit and those. But that's something I really admire because not everybody steps into that ring.
Right.
Right. And to fight. It's like amazing. That's why I really admire all the fighters.
I always tell my friends, I suggest it to everybody who trains, but I try and really push my friends that I think everybody should fight just once because it teaches you a lot about yourself and about your mind. And then you also learn respect. You see how much goes into it and the nerves, and it just gives you a new perspective on everything. So I believe everybody should just once, just try it, step in the ring. It doesn't have to be a crazy, big event. Like you said, it could be a smoker. Just one time compete and you see how it is. And I think it humbles you and it teaches you respect between you and your opponent. Yeah. And you get just a totally new perspective on the sport and on life too. When you're walking around and you're just more respectful and humble, and it gives you a new perspective on life. It's a beautiful thing.
Amazing. And then how was the first fight without any gear? I mean, that is a different experience, right?
So actually, after my first tournament, those 2 fights, when I had my first fight at home, the kid kept texting us like, we want to do no gear, no shin pads. And my coach, I don't care. I was like, all right. Okay. But my coach he's big on, he's like, who cares? Because you could fight more times. You leave the pads on, you take less damage on your body, and we could just fight again right away. He's all about getting experience, and let's just keep fighting. If you take the pads off, now you have to take a few weeks, maybe a month to recover before you could come back and train again. So he wasn't big on it. But I remember the other kid kept asking, like every couple of weeks, it was like, let's do no gear. And I was like, this kid might have metal in his shins because he's so persistent. Like he probably has like titanium shins. Like why is he pushing so hard? But we ended up, I don't know which fight. I think it was.
Oh, you have there all the fights. Okay.
Yeah. The coach, he hangs them all up.
Perfect.
I forgot which fight it was. no shin pads.
I was going to ask you, yeah, that was the one in December, yes.
But I remember it felt different.
Who was your opponent on that fight?
For the first no shin pads, it might have been, I don't know, it might have been Warriors Cup against Melendez, I think.
Okay.
But it was a totally new experience. I like it because I kind of like pain a little bit. I don't know why.
How do you feel that? The shin?
And it kind of feels cooler because it feels more like a real fight. I don't know. So for me, I love it, but you definitely take more damage. I mean, your shins, sometimes it's tough to walk after, and you definitely get beat up, but you hear it. I know in the stands, you hear like the clap of the shins, but I don't know. I like it.
I think maybe during the fight you don't feel like the pain, but after, right?
100%.
Everything comes.
And right after, when you're in the back and you're getting changed, and then you're like, oh my God.
What happened?
You start walking like, oh. So, I don't know. It depends.
But then without gear gives you more freedom. I mean, of course, it's more pain, but at least you can.
And I like it too because when you kick, sometimes they catch it, and with the shin pads, it's hard to get it out. You know, there's a lot of cushion to grab. But when it's just your shin, you could slide in and out and connect differently. So I like it. I like it more.
Wow. And your style of fighting, do you feel more strong, like punching or kicking, knees?
I guess punching.
Punching.
I like low kicks because I also played soccer. So I like to do that.
Nice.
I don't know. I just like to be aggressive. I don't care. Whatever I see, that's what I'll do. Sometimes I have to kick more, but I like to punch.
And the IQ, that famous IQ of fighting, right? That you need to analyze and see where are the openings of your opponent.
You have to adapt because sometimes if you go in there with just one game plan and it's not working, you're gonna lose now. So I mean, there's been fights of mine. I remember the first Warriors Cup fight. It was the first fight I had to fight backwards. So he was usually I'm the one
you
pressing.
Go forward always.
And that was the first time. He was a little bit bigger. I went up in weight and he was pressing me. So I had to learn how to fight going back and punch going back and move around. So you have to be able to adapt.
Yeah. Wow. And do you normally watch videos of your opponents before the fight or?
No, never. Usually never. I feel like if I start watching them and I get worried about their particular moves and punches, I'm gonna lose track of my game plan. So I want them to be watching me and worried about what I'm doing. So
I agree.
I just focus on myself, focus on what I want to accomplish in that particular fight. And like like we said, I'll adapt. I'll do what I have to do. And if he has a plan to counter me, then I'll just adapt and counter what he's doing. So I focus on myself, what I want to do. I don't get too wrapped up because you'll get nervous about maybe his left hook. And now I'm always focused on this side, and now I'm open on my right side. So I just focus on myself.
Okay. Yeah, I agree totally.
Yes.
You do your work and then everything is there. Okay. So let's take a look about your fights in 2025.
Okay.
So in February, you had the AFL, right? That one against Matt Banfi, right? So there was a 5-round battle. It was like and it was like growing and growing. The first rounds were like kind of tight. Both of you were like doing everything like really tight. And then everything like increased. How did you feel that fight?
Yeah, I want to give him credit too because he never stopped. He never quit. Usually you could tell when they kind of checked out and they're just waiting for the time to be over.
Yeah.
He never stopped, and he gave me a good fight. He came at me. It was close, back and forth. I remember, I think it was maybe the 4th round where his elbow pad came up.
Yes.
And I think he knew it came up, but he hit me with an elbow and I got cut.
You got caught.
My first time getting cut. And it felt, I don't know, cold and hot at the same time. I was like, I kind of knew. I was like touching it.
Wow, was it big?
A little bit above the eyebrow. I got stitched up after. We went the next morning, but I actually ran into him in the bathroom after the fight and I told him, and this is true, I said there was 2 things I've always wanted. One was a belt, and the other was to get cut open. I always wanted to get cut open.
How come?
I don't know. And I said, you gave me both of them tonight, so thank you. So it was just a great night. My first ever belt and my first time getting cut open. And it was a good fight, back and forth, a war. I had a big crowd there also. I've been very lucky. I have a good crowd wherever I go.
I saw it, and everybody was.
It was just, yeah, it was a great night. My mom was crying because she always, you know, she knew I always wanted to do this, and it was great. They let my parents come in the ring, and we took pictures, and Vinny was very happy because we got a belt back at the gym. So it was just an awesome night. I felt so proud going home. The car ride home for me is always the best because we blast the music and everybody's very high on energy, and it's always a good feeling.
Wow.
Yeah.
And normally, but I mean, in this case, you had to go directly to the hospital.
Yeah, it was late. It must have been like 12:31 in the morning.
Yeah.
So we were Googling different places, and then we said, all right, we'll just wait till the morning.
Really?
Yeah. And then I got stitched up.
Keeps
we put like glue on it.
Oh my God, okay.
Yeah, and then we were like, I will
just...
you
don't have any scar. It looks perfect.
It healed up so good,
perfect.
Yes.
You have a good like vitamin K.
Yeah, it healed up really well.
Perfect, okay.
Yes.
Nice. So, how did you celebrate after that fight?
What did we do that night?
With the...
Usually we go out after, we'll go, everyone will drink, and but that night actually was really bad on my shins, my ankles. It was probably the worst ever. And I told my friends, I said, listen, I would love to go out, but I'm in so much pain. Like, I really have to go home. And the whole car ride home, I was kind of screaming. Like, it would come and go, the pain. So I'd be calm, and then I would start screaming.
But what do you feel? It's like...
It was just like throbbing. My ankles were swollen. It was really my ankle, just throbbing pain. And it would come and go. And like I said, it was the worst out of every fight. This was the worst night.
Wow.
And I would just scream to get the pain out and then ice it. But I just went home. I tried to rest, but you can't even sleep because you're just like...
Do you take any like painkiller?
No,
you don't
nothing.
Like to do that?
I like to just sit and let the pain sit. I don't know.
Wow.
It's a little crazy.
You get used to that, like...
You get used to it in a way, but also too, I feel like I earned it. Like I earned this pain, and I want to sit in the pain. And because, you know, how many times am I gonna go home with a belt and feel this, you know? I don't know how many.
Where do you have those belts? Here at the gym?
I took them home with me.
Yeah, of course. You have it under...
My coach really wants them here.
I saw, yeah, of course.
He keeps asking me, he was like, you're gonna leave him at the gym? I'm like, I don't know. I really, because my whole life I really wanted a belt, so I have it at home in a case.
Okay, wow.
And if I ever get another one, I'll give it to him.
Wow, I like that. Is it heavy?
A little bit. They feel nice. It's not too, it doesn't feel cheap. It's like a nice, decently heavy belt.
Nice. Wow.
So it's beautiful. I have my Warriors Cup and my AFL, and I'm proud. I'm very proud of them.
Yeah, because you are young and then you already have 2 belts. Amazing.
Yes.
Okay, so after that fight you went to Delaware, right, in March?
Right,
for
the
Grand Nationals, right? So
yes.
I was there too. I saw you fighting the first fight because I had to leave early.
Okay.
But I saw the first one that you won.
Yes.
So how was the first? I noticed like you were not so focused in the maybe. I mean, not the same Rob as in Warriors Cup.
Yes.
I don't know. What do you think?
It feels different. Well, Nationals 2 is also different because you weigh in the same day. With AFL and all the other fights, you weigh in the night before.
Okay.
So you have a day to kind of recover and hydrate. And this fight's different because you weigh in and then you only have a couple hours to maybe eat and hydrate. So naturally, you're going to be like a little like tired, you know. You just weighed in. So you do the best you can, you hydrate, but I would also, you know, for those tournaments, I go up a little bit in weight because you have less time to hydrate. I don't want to be too depleted. I don't know. Those tournaments for me, it's just totally different than a fight night. Fight night, you know, you have one fight, you're locked in.
And you know the time.
Right.
Like,
you know the time. It's more scheduled. With the tournaments, you don't really know who you're fighting. You know, there's a group of kids. You kind of just wait there, and then you know if you win, now you have to fight tomorrow. So it's a little bit different mentally. But this fight too was the first time I'm competing in. There's 3 divisions at nationals: the novice, intermediate, and
you were the senior, right?
Senior, correct.
Senior elite.
The elite, I didn't have enough fights to compete at the elite, but we asked them because I had maybe like, I don't know how many I had at the time. I was like a few fights under whatever the minimum you needed.
Okay.
But they allowed me to compete because for me, I just want to fight the best people. I want to go at the highest level that I could compete at. If I win and I beat somebody I know who wasn't maybe as experienced, I don't feel good about it.
That's right.
So I said, I don't care if I lose, just put me at the highest. Whoever's the best, that's who I want to fight against.
I like that.
That's what we did. They let me compete at that. And we won the first fight. And then the next fight was a tough fight the second day. The kid from Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm. He was tall, right?
Yeah, because I went up a little bit in weight, so everybody I fight's usually bigger than me.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, so
okay.
This was at 71 kilo.
71.
So it was a
what
good
is
fight.
your normal weight that you fight?
So if I do like the fight night at home, I fight 147.
Okay.
For this, I went 156.
Ah, okay.
So a little bit bigger.
Yeah. Okay.
But it was a good fight. I mean, I was disappointed in myself. Even after the first fight, I was disappointed. I just didn't feel maybe my cardio. Like you said, I just didn't feel like myself. I felt very sluggish.
Okay.
But these fights are also 3 minutes, and the other fights are only 2 minutes each round.
That's right. Okay.
So it's a little bit different.
Yes.
And the preparation needs to be a little bit different. And I don't think we adjusted accordingly. So it was my fault for not, pushing and going harder with the cardio. And I think that's what made a little bit of a difference.
I see.
With my style, with my style being only 2-minute rounds, I could do it. And I didn't adjust for 3 minutes. So I tired myself out. And especially the second day, you could tell. I got really tired in the third round. The first round, I won. The second round, it was very close, but they gave it to him. And then in the third round, I was too tired, and my arms were just so heavy, like balloons. It feels like I couldn't really move my style. I couldn't move and fight my fight.
Okay.
And he ended up winning the fight. It was a good fight. He's a great opponent, but it was a learning experience for me, 100%.
As you said, it's better to fight with the good ones, right? Because it's the way you learn more.
Right. 100%. Well,
yes.
Now after that fight, we learned and we adjusted. Had I fought somebody and let's say they had less experience, and even with my same cardio, I got away with it because they weren't as good maybe.
Yeah.
Now we didn't learn, Now I don't make the adjustments for the next fight because you win and you think everything's okay.
So, but for how long did you prepare for this? Because you had the AFL, right? And then this one was only 1 month, perhaps.
Yes.
Between those.
We always stay fight ready here.
Okay,
we
so
never
you are
get out of
ready
shape.
to go.
Yeah. Okay. So I could fight if you give me like 2 weeks. I'll fight. I don't care. Even a week, I don't care.
Okay.
Because we're always ready. There's little things we have to do, but generally, for the most part, we're ready.
Okay. So, and then you had the chance to go to the the IFMA World Championships after that.
Yes.
In Turkey.
Yes.
Right? So this was in May, end of May, around that.
Around that time, yes. That was a beautiful experience.
How was it?
It was awesome.
To compete in a world stage?
First off, it was beautiful to represent my country and be a part of Team USA and support all the other athletes. It was such a cool, tight-knit team. And we all supported each other. Every fight, we were all in the crowd screaming. So that was a cool experience. It was also my first international fight, which was awesome. That was just beautiful. And to see every country come out and represent it was just beautiful. It's like our Olympics pretty much, you know? So going into the first fight, honestly, it was the most nervous out of every fight I ever was in. I remember telling myself before the fight, I never felt this nervous before, honestly, before a fight. Usually I'm calm. I don't really care too much. And this one, I actually almost felt scared, which is not normal for me. And I remember telling myself in the dressing room, you're feeling very, nervous and scared right now. And that's how you know you're in the right place. That's how you know you're pushing yourself and going beyond your boundaries. If you weren't nervous, then you shouldn't be here. And it means you're not doing something right. And that's what really brought me back to that calm state. And I said, you're right, this is where we need to be. And then I got excited again. So my first fight was against Turkmenistan.
Okay, Turkmenistan, okay.
Yes.
And what was the weight for that?
So that was also 71 kilo.
Okay.
So whatever you compete at nationals, you compete at the IFMA. Yes.
And then how was already there at the ring that first fight?
It was
international fight.
It was awesome. I mean, people are booing you because different countries, But we had our little team cheering me on, and you don't really hear it too much. But the first round I felt good, and then the second round I felt good. And I remember when I was in my corner going into the third round, my coach was like very calm. He's like, let's just win, you're already winning the both rounds, listen. And I was like, let's go. I was very amped up. I felt so, I felt proud of myself in that moment because here I am at the world stage and I didn't know if I should be here, if I belonged here. And winning the first two rounds gave me such confidence. And I was amped up going into the third round. And then when the bell rang, we went out, and I remember he hit me hard with a right hand, and it was the hardest I've ever been hit. Out of
Like here?
No, right
Where?
in the face.
Oh, in the face, okay.
It was the hardest I've ever been hit. And I remember when I got hit, I was like, wow, that was pretty hard.
Okay.
But then I came back, and I kind of took his momentum away from him. I think he was just going to come out hard, try and knock me out. We took the momentum away, and I won all 3 rounds, and it was awesome. It was such a confidence boost for me. And I really felt, I said, we belong here.
Wow. And then what happened next after that fight?
So then after that, I had 2 days off in between my fights. And I didn't know who I was fighting. I knew I was fighting Ukraine, but I didn't know the caliber that this fighter was. He's really good. I mean, he's competed at this world tournament many, many times. He's taken second place like 3 times, I believe. And he has more international fights than I have regular fights. So he's on a new caliber. I mean, he fought in Thailand against really, really talented fighters. So I didn't know it at the time. My coach texted me. He's like, this next one's going to be a little bit of a dog fight. But that's the kind of fight that I like. So I wasn't as nervous going in, especially coming off the win. I had confidence. But I didn't look. After my fight, I looked, but he knocked out the kid before me, and then he knocked out the kid after me. So he was a really, really tough opponent, but we went to 3 rounds. He won. He beat me. And even though I lost, I still felt proud of myself because you're fighting a new level of people, and this is how we're going to get better. So even though we lost, it wasn't like a moral defeat. I felt good, and this is the next level. This is where I want to be, and I want to fight the best, and this is what it is.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, you're doing the best for your career to improve and to get better every time, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I agree. So is there another, maybe this one, or is there a fight that you didn't feel proud of yourself? Maybe the ones we have spoken, this one or any other?
Yeah, honestly, I would say it's like a 50-50.
Okay.
When I'm proud of myself or disappointed. I could point.
Which one?
I know which ones. The one in the gray, the first Warriors Cup, I was disappointed. And then...
Against who?
Melendez.
Okay. Melendez, I see.
And then the next one, I was proud of myself because I fought... That was the 4-way tournament for the belt, for the AFL belt.
Okay.
I felt like that was one of my best fights. It's very, in my flow state. So I'm proud of that one. And then the next one, I was disappointed in myself against Calderon, Warriors Cup. Anytime it's very close, I'm disappointed because I never want to leave it in the hands of the judges. You know, I want to make it very clear. And, you know, if it's a close fight and it doesn't go my way, a lot of people will scream and argue, oh, no. To me, that's my own fault. You know, if I made it that close of a fight, then I deserve to lose. You know, I want to be a very clear victor. So
that there's no doubt you won.
Yeah, anytime it's close, I'm very disappointed.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. So MMA experience, we need to talk about that. I saw that the fight, right? But then why did you decide to jump in this experience?
Okay.
Like completely new.
Honestly, since I was a little kid, I remember the first fight, I went home and I told my dad, and he put it on the TV. It was a pay-per-view fight. It was Chris Weidman versus Anderson Silva, the one where he broke his leg. Yes.
Oh, yes.
That was the first fight I remember as a kid watching, and ever since that day, in my head, I said, I want to do it. I want to get in and fight in the cage. So that was always in the back of my head growing up, and I started wrestling, and then it kind of, not that it went away, but you kind of don't think, oh, it can't be me. And that's why I was going to quit Muay Thai and almost like give up where
after the...
No, I'm saying
before
when I was going to quit Muay Thai. You kind of just like, you get older and you forget about your dreams, you know?
Okay.
It's very easy to just go to work and try and build a career and just move on with your life. When I started competing in Muay Thai, it brought back the competitive spirit in me. And then it brought back my old dream of competing in MMA. And that was always the end goal for me. I never thought that I would ever have a Muay Thai fight, to be honest with you. If it wasn't for Vinny, I would have never competed. He's the one who brought it out in me, and we had these Muay Thai fights. But then my old demon started creeping back in, and I said, you know, don't forget your dream as a little kid was always to go into the cage and do MMA. So now that I've gained enough Muay Thai experience where I feel like I like to focus and dedicate on one craft. And I feel like I really went deep in Muay Thai for those 2-3 years. I've given it my life. And now I feel like I could use that and combine it with my wrestling and go into the cage and do MMA.
For how long did you prepare for this MMA fight?
I mean, we really didn't do anything necessarily different, to be honest with you. We were still hitting pads, Muay Thai style, and maybe I did 1 or 2 nights a week I would do wrestling. I really never trained MMA for this. I didn't do really any Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or submission stuff. Very little. So it wasn't really like an MMA training camp. It was just me training normal and then going into the fight.
Wow, so this was against Jack Lido, right?
Yes.
And then, well, it was a good fight, but everything was wrestling.
Yeah, there was no standing at all, which I blame myself. I think part of that, I think a big reason, like I was telling you, there was no MMA training, so I didn't have sparring rounds MMA style.
Yeah.
And my first real sparring was the fight. So it was a new big learning curve. And you know, you're trying to learn in the ring, but it was a little too late, and it was my own fault for not trying to do more to keep it standing. And I was a little hesitant to throw my punches because the gloves are smaller now. So I didn't know what it was like to get hit with the little gloves, and I didn't want to get, you know, knocked out right away in the first round. So I was a little bit on my back foot and not as aggressive as I normally am. So I think as the round progressed, you could tell I was getting more comfortable, and in the third round I stood up and was doing more, but the third round should have been the first round.
But you did great, like coming out of every submission. You were standing up every time.
Yeah, I tried.
That's so tiring to have their guys on top of you or whatever.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I think I should have done more. I was too worried about getting gassed out. I didn't want to be tired.
Yeah.
So like I said, I was too reserved. I should have let loose more and let the hands fly more and be less cautious almost. But that's how we learn. I mean, we lost, but I learned so much. So I'm eager to get back in.
Yeah, but the last rounds, you were just like punching him. And what would happen if that fight like lasted for 10 more seconds?
Right. That's what a lot of people said, but
what do you think?
I don't know. I don't like to think like that because listen,
Okay.
this is what it is. This is what the time is, and I should have done better. I should have done it earlier. That's my fault, and you can't take anything away from him. You know, he won, and I want to fight him again. And
Yes,
100%. I think down the line we will, and I want to get my experience up and just get back in.
This was a new experience for you, for your coach, for the gym, everybody,
yes,
right?
100%.
So it's good, like to have a new experience.
Yes, even for my fans, my friends who came, they were into it. They loved it.
This was Atlantic City. Right?
Yeah.
Nice place.
Of course. So everyone was having a good time, and everyone keeps texting me when the next one is. So.
Do you know? Or no, you cannot.
We were gonna do one in October, but
okay.
Next week we're going to Mexico, so it was too close to compete. So we'll see when the next one after that is.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
I would love to go there.
Yes.
Right? Yeah, but
November.
November. Okay, yeah. Okay, nice. So let's talk about your your fight that you're having in Mexico. Okay, where in Mexico?
Mexico City.
Okay.
So my first time going there, my first time competing in Mexico. It's for the Pan American Championship.
Okay.
So I'm representing Team USA again. So it'll be nice. I see some familiar faces and my teammates from Turkey. I'll get to see some of them compete again. So it's going to be a wonderful experience. My friend Tullis is coming with me.
Yeah, he always comes with you.
That's right, yes.
Wow.
He never misses a fight.
He's a really good friend. You know him since high school?
Yes, since high school.
Okay.
And then we went to college together, and he's been with me ever since. He missed his sister's birthday to come to my fight. He doesn't miss it for anything.
Nice, no, he's good. So it's like your first time in Mexico City?
Yes.
Also.
So.
You will like it. I mean, if you have time, try some food.
Oh yeah.
Mexico has amazing food.
We're gonna stay an extra 2 days there, me and Tullis, so we could eat a little bit and see some stuff.
Just be careful with the spiciness because never ask a Mexican, is it spicy? Because they will say no.
Okay.
But it's really spicy, so be gentle on your stomach. Go gradually.
Duly noted.
Okay, so I mean, can we see it online or live?
There's gonna be a live stream, yes.
Okay.
So we'll see. I'm sure Vinny will.
So when is that? Sorry, again.
I'm leaving next Wednesday. I believe the first fight is Friday. So, well, it depends on the brackets, how they draw it up. I may have a bye or I may have my first fight. I don't know yet until we get there.
And how many fights maybe you will have, like 2 or 3?
This one's it's 2 days, yeah.
It's 2 days, okay.
So,
perfect. Wow, good luck with that.
Yeah,
it will be great.
We'll see everybody from Brazil, Argentina, Mexico, Canada. Nice. It'll be a beautiful tournament. A
nice environment. Enjoy your experience there. Okay.
Thank you.
The best luck.
And
then also, I wanted to know because you trained, you went to Thailand to train. When was this?
Yes.
I didn't know.
That was February of 2024. So
February, okay.
A year and a half ago. Yeah, that was a totally, I mean, I'll never forget that experience. When we went there, I didn't have that much experience. I think maybe like a year of hard training. So going in there, I was definitely, I didn't know what to expect, but I knew it was going to be a great learning experience. And they train hard. I mean, you wake up early in the morning, you start off with, I think it was like a 4-mile run, and then you start training.
Yeah.
You
Old
eat,
school style.
Yeah, and then you run again and you train again. So it was twice a day. It was maybe like 7 hours total a day of training. Yeah. So, but I mean, over there I didn't work. So it was kind of like that was my job. You know, you wake up and you do your 7-8 hours of training. So.
And then you rest.
Yes, that's like I told you, that's my dream. So for me, that was kind of what my lifestyle would be like anyway. And it was nice to see it.
Wow.
And be surrounded by everyone there is a fighter. So
what was the gym that you chose?
Sanctinoy.
Okay, so in Bangkok?
It's like an hour north of Bangkok.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
It was just I met kids from Germany, Switzerland, Sweden, Australia,
Yeah.
all over the world. So it was just such a great time. You train hard with them, and then you sit and you eat with them, and
Yeah,
you get
it's
to hear
nice.
different perspectives on lifestyles back home and what they do and what their goals are. And it was such a awesome experience. Tullis was there, so he got to
He
see
was
everything.
there, okay.
Yeah, he was training. He was throwing up.
Nice.
It was a big training for him, but it was just such a cool experience. We went to Bangkok. I went to all the 3 major stadiums and watched all the
Raja,
fights.
Lumpini.
Yes, Raja Lumpini. And then the other one, it was like a smaller one
Okay.
where a lot of gambling going
Yeah,
on.
also the Raja, they have a...
Oh yeah, forget it. It was crazy. I forgot the name of it,
Okay,
but I have videos of everything.
okay.
I got to go back and look at it.
Nice.
But it was just, what a different life. Their whole life is Muay Thai.
They live the Muay Thai
That's
every
it.
day.
Everything. Even when we would sit and eat dinner, they had it on the TV. Every night there was fights. Everywhere. If you wanted to see something, there was a fight. So
you stayed there for 1 month or...
it was like 28 days. Yeah, it was like
28 days.
a little less than a month.
And did you was able to fight there? Like,
I really wanted to.
and then what happened?
I messaged them before I went there, telling them I wanted to fight. But they wanted to see me before they put me in the fight because they don't know what level I'm at and where my cardio is. They wanted to see. So when I went there, we started training, and maybe like 2 weeks in, she came to me. She's like the head grandma of the...
There's always like,
yeah.
oh my God,
She runs it, and
the money first.
yeah. She told me that they would get me a fight. I believe in Phuket, so we would have flew down to Phuket,
nice.
which would have been so cool.
Yes, the stadium is big.
Oh yeah, and it's beautiful, the ocean there. It would have been really, really something. But they wanted me to stay for 2 more weeks, but I had to come home with work. I mean, I took a month off, so I couldn't do it. I couldn't take 2 more weeks, and unfortunately, I had to come home. But I would have loved to fight there.
Because you can fight at the Raja or the Lumpini, because I went there a month ago and then I met many fighters there from everywhere, and then most of them, one of the RWS, those stadiums are really good. Maybe in the future you can...
cool. Yeah, if I ever go back, that's another little goal of mine. I would love to fight there. It would be such a good experience.
Right?
Oh man, totally different.
What did you learn from the Thais?
I
Their
learned...
mentality.
It's funny you mentioned the mentality, because something that surprised me, and it's something I like to tell people, we look at them as these like scary, like, oh my God, I'm fighting a Thai guy.
Yeah.
Because it's their whole way of life. They grew up since they were a little kid. All they've known is Muay Thai. So to us, it's like, whoa, like they're scary almost because of how strong and tough and how much experience they have. You know, a lot of them have 200, 300, 400 fights. You know, they're fighting every week. Yeah. So to us, it's like they're some like mythical, scary person, fighter. And it was crazy talking to them because they look at us like that. And I couldn't understand why. And he told me because over there, they have to fight. It's how they make money, how they survive. They don't really have a choice. You know, you grow up and you have to fight. For us, we choose to do it. Yeah. And they couldn't understand why someone would want to fight. For them, they have to.
I understand.
And they looked at us like, you're someone who doesn't have to, but you come here and you get in the ring and you fight. And they were like, you're crazy. Like, they look at us like, look at this crazy guy. Yeah. So it was interesting that's how we looked at each other. I never thought of it like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
And the clinching, did you get? Because they are really good at clinching.
Oh my God, yeah.
And the neck, they are so strong.
I remember my neck was so sore. So the first maybe like week, they were just beating me up and my neck was so sore. And that's honestly how I got better, because I was in so much pain. And I said, I'm not going to let this kid do it, because I can't. I'm in so much pain. I cannot let him pull me down. I didn't have an option. And that's what made me get better, because I would not let him pull my neck. And that's what makes you get better, because had I not been in pain, I would have just kept getting beat up. But I said, I cannot let him do it because of how much it hurts. And that's what forced me to get better. and force me to get my posture better and move around.
But they always checking how you do if you go to the trainings, right? How is your mentality also? Like,
Right, they watch.
Keep going.
Even with like the runs in the morning,
So who is here?
yeah, they're optional. You don't have to do it.
You don't.
But even though you don't see them because they don't wake up when we leave, so we wake up, you only see the fighters who are running and you just leave.
Okay.
So you think, oh, like they won't know if I skip, but they know and they look and they see. When you're not looking, they're looking. So even though it's optional, they know if you went or not, and they could tell how serious you are.
Yeah, there's another gym called San Reed that you should check that out.
Okay.
It's great in Bangkok.
Awesome.
But
Yeah, I'll look.
Like old school.
Wow.
The head coach is like 64 years old and he's so tough and
oh my God, forget
incredible.
it. He'll beat everybody up.
Incredible. Yeah, he's great. So if you plan this for the future. Talking a bit about the mindset, I mean, the mindset takes like a big role before fighting. So what do you say to yourself? Like, is there a phrase or something you normally do or think?
Yeah, I mean, it depends because like I said, sometimes I'm more nervous and less nervous depending on the fight. It was also different because for a while I was undefeated. So every fight you're like, you don't want this to be the one, you know? And then after I had my first loss, that kind of pressure, you get relieved where it's not a big deal anymore. You know, you don't want to lose, but there's no more of that, like expectation of, oh, you're not supposed to lose. So that took a little bit of pressure off and you could focus more on just the fight. And I don't know, I just stay very calm. I usually, like I said, I put a towel over my face and I close my eyes. I try and shut down as many senses as possible. So I take my eyes away. If I could take my ears away and put headphones in. And,
like listen to music or
it depends. Sometimes if I have to, if it's very loud, I will. Or I'll just put like earplugs. I just try and be neutral. I don't want to get very hyped up and I don't want to be too calm. I just want to be right in the middle. And then right before my fight, I'll get really amped up. Like 10 minutes, 15 minutes before, I'll get really fired up. So that's what I try and do.
Excellent. And then how you balance your job, your personal life, training?
It's tough. It's almost, there is no balance. You kind of have to pick and choose what you decide you want to focus on. Because for a long time, when you do try and balance things, it felt like everybody wanted 100%. You know, coach wants 100%, and then your job wants 100%, and then your friends or your girlfriend wants 100%. So if you try and do 30 here, 30 and 30, you're never gonna be enough for anybody. You know, you'll make nobody happy. So you almost have to say, you know what, I'm gonna take this away and give more here. And that's what I had to do. I had to really focus on the gym and my work, you know, took a little bit of a toll. Like I said, if I go to Mexico, I have to take days off. And if that makes some people unhappy, you know, the boss isn't happy, but it's what you have to do. And even with my friends, thankfully, they're very understanding, but I don't really see them too often.
Okay.
If they go out and they're drinking and partying, I don't really drink and party, so I won't go. And I'm tired, I'm home, I want to sleep and recover. So the gym really took over my life, and it's not for everybody. So if that's not the lifestyle you want, it's understandable, but maybe you can't be a fighter, you know? You have to really give 100 here.
You can, a lot of sacrifices.
A lot of sacrifices, and that means that there is no balance almost, you know? You have to give very little here, and everything else in the gym.
I agree. And then how many hours do you sleep?
Not enough.
How many? At least, what's the minimum?
It's tough. I mean, when I work my mornings, usually I wake up at like 5:30 because I have to get to the city.
5:30, okay.
So, you know, you go to work 8 hours, you come home, you eat quick, and then I'll train with Vinny from maybe 5:30 to 7:30, and then I'll stretch out. And by the time I get home, it's like 8:30, 9 o'clock. Then you have to shower, eat, cook, and it's like 11. You have no time to just relax and watch movies or something. So you're tired. I mean, I sleep maybe
Sunday
6
is
hours.
for resting.
Yeah, Sunday usually I sleep all day. Like
Okay.
I'll go see my dad, and I'll just hang out on the couch, put TV, and just go to sleep.
You need that.
Yeah, I usually eat a lot of food and sleep, and that's why Mondays we usually have a good session because I ate so much and I'm full energy.
Okay, wow. And then what's the best advice your coach, Vinny, has ever given you?
Best advice. There's a few things that he said to me that stuck out. I don't know if I would call this advice,
Okay.
but something that he said to me that changed my life, truly, was when I was training here, and he told me, he said, can we curse or no? Can I curse?
Yeah, of course, you can, sure.
He told me, word for word, he said, when are you gonna stop fucking around and take this serious? He said, take this shit serious. That's what he said.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that's you. Had he not said that to me, I wouldn't be here, honestly. That's what you could see. I actually, I didn't know it at the time. Coincidentally, I happened to be filming that day, just the sparring. I like to film and watch myself and see what I did. And I actually have that on video. You know, you don't hear him say it, but I know when he said it, and you could see it. And just in that training, you see from the moment he said that, the rest of the training was different. And
wow.
Ever since that day, that's when he started looking for my first fight. And it changed the rest of my life. I wouldn't be talking to you right now if he didn't say that to me. Wow. So it's not necessarily advice, but it's something that changed my life.
And you have it always in your mind.
Always. I hear him say it. I remember it like it was yesterday.
Wow, amazing. I love that. So the future plans. So of course you're going to Mexico. You're 25 now, right? Wow, so young. So
thank you.
It's still a long way to go.
Hopefully, yes.
Right? Well, in Thailand, Sanchai, those fighters are already 44 and they still fighting.
They're still looking great.
Amazing, right? So you will go to Mexico, and then what other fights do you have?
The next fight is Mexico. After that, hopefully we could get the MMA fight in November. And after that, I don't know. That's as far as we like to just look one at a time.
Okay.
We don't look too far ahead because I want to focus on what's next. Right now it's Mexico. So for me, that's the only fight I have in my mind. I don't have another fight. This is everything for me, and this is what we're doing. So we'll see. We'll see if that fight is not even confirmed. So I don't like to think, because now if I sit and think, oh, November, and then November doesn't happen, and now I'm all, you get mixed up. Yeah. So for me, it's one by one. What the future holds, I don't know. You never know. I could fight and maybe I get injured, and now I don't fight for 6 months.
Oh, wood.
Knock on wood. But it's the truth. That's how life is. So I don't like to plan too much. I have one fight at a time, and Mexico is my fight right now, and that's it.
Perfect. So your YouTube channel, you wanted to start a YouTube channel.
Always.
What's that? What are you thinking about that? Or
So I always wanted to start one since but right before college. I was like, I really want to do one. And my initial plan had nothing to do with fighting. It was me and my friend Tullis. I wanted to do funny videos and kind of challenges where we push each other to do things that are uncomfortable, like social stuff, things that you feel awkward, or I always like pushing my boundaries and growing as a person and doing different things physically, mentally, socially. I like to really push yourself to be uncomfortable because that's how you grow.
Out of your comfort zone.
Right. So I wanted to do funny videos where we push each other to do weird things and funny stuff. And I thought it would be entertaining. I have all these notes on my phone of different challenges.
Yeah.
But he didn't want to do it with me. I bought a camera. We did all this stuff.
He can be your cameraman, and then you just do the
No, but he'd be great on screen. You got to see him.
Okay.
Yeah. So we did one video. We did shoot one video. I still have it on my phone, but
it's not on YouTube yet.
No, I don't know if there's enough to make a video, but I look back on it and it's so funny for me, as a memory. That was the first time where I pushed myself with him socially to do like a YouTube video. The first time I had the intentions of making a video. So for me, it's a special video in my heart. Now that things have changed and my life kind of changed, I still want to do stuff like that, but I want my main channel to be more of just my life and document my life and my fight. Not just fighting, but right now fighting for me is my life.
Yeah.
So I document all my fighting and more behind the scenes where people could see what it's like, because you know, you watch like Conor McGregor, let's say, and you see the end goal, and you see somebody who now has money and who's at the top, but you never get to see really someone who works full time and trains and is not making money from fighting, and sometimes you doubt yourself, and I think of quitting. You know, those guys, you're at the top, they're not gonna quit because you're already at the top, you're making hundreds of thousands of dollars fighting, so they're at the end. For me, I mean, I have days where I think of, like, I'll never reach my goal, and this is it for me, and I'll never make it. So there's ups and downs to everything. I want to show people, because my main, honestly, purpose in life, I feel like, is I love pushing people beyond what they think they're possible of doing. So even if that's just in the gym, getting in shape, or maybe something with work or whatever it is, I love to push people, and I love this seeing on their face when they realize, wow, I did more than I thought I could. And if I can make these videos and someone at home who's maybe doubting themselves can see me, and that makes them want to push themselves, that makes me very happy.
That would be like a good advice for many kids and young
that's
people.
Like my number one thing in life I would love to do. I want to inspire people to push themselves.
People see that if you win at the ring, but they don't see the process that it took you 100%. To get there, right?
And so even losing,
important.
Because people think you lose and it's over, but that's not true. And losing is how you grow. And I want to show people that, because I've lost, I think maybe like 4 times now, and it's not the end. I mean, you have to keep going, and that's how you grow, and you learn, you push yourself. So I don't want people to quit, and I want them to carry on. So if they see me do it, maybe that inspires them to keep going.
That's right. And talking about inspiration, if you had to describe your journey in one sentence, how would it be?
One sentence? Oh, that's so hard. There's been the highest of highs and the lowest of lows, and I've learned to enjoy all of it. Like I told you when I went home in pain, I didn't want to take any painkillers, because that's part of it. If you want to have the highs, you have to appreciate the lows. And when I'm in pain, I take it in, because I don't know how many more times I'll go home in pain with a belt. You know, that may have been the last time. I don't know.
You don't know.
It ended up not being, but you never know when the last time is. So whatever the lows are, I take it. And whatever the highs are, I take it, and I appreciate it all. And I'm very grateful for all of it.
Oh, I like it. Really inspiring. Thank you. So what qualities do you think a fighter must have to become like an elite fighter? Some qualities.
First off, you have to, I know it's cliche, but you have to want it. And I don't mean, you know, like, oh, I want to win. Everybody wants to win. What I mean by that is, like you said, like, oh, you know, you go home in pain, or you cut. I love it. And you have to really want to be there, because there's a very good chance you're not just going to go in there, beat the guy up, and go home. You know, you're going to take damage. And if you're afraid to get hit and you don't like it, or you only want to experience the highs, but you don't want to experience the lows, then you're not going to go very far, because it's all a part of being a fighter. So you can't only want the money, the fame, and the belts. If you want those, you also have to want the pain, the suffering, the loneliness. You have to want it all. And I do. I don't care what it takes. I appreciate all of it. So that's the number one thing. You have to want all of it and embrace the process, not just the end result. But I mean, you have to have the heart. You have to have the courage. You know, everybody's afraid, but it's not about the tough person isn't the person who's not afraid and gets in the ring. That's not bravery, because for you it was easy. You know, I'm not afraid to put my shoes on. So if I put my shoes on, that's nothing brave. You know, that's not brave. But if you're afraid to do something and you do it anyway, that's bravery. And you have to have courage to get in the ring. I mean, you have to cut weight. You have to be ready to cut weight.
Cut weight is so difficult.
It's so difficult. You have to be disciplined. And with the dieting, I mean, if you don't, like I said, if you don't really want it, then you'll have no problem going and cheating and grabbing something you shouldn't be.
You're lying to yourself.
But if you really want to win, you remind yourself why you do it, and then it's a little bit easier to not indulge in the bad stuff. So there's so much that goes into it. But like I said, everybody should have one fight, and you'll see, maybe it's not for you, and that's perfectly okay.
But you did it already, right?
But you learned about yourself, and it gives you a clear direction. Like, okay, now I know I don't want to fight, but I do still love training, so I'm going to show up and train, and I love the sport. And that's great, you know? So it gives you direction. You got to learn what you want, and everybody wants a little bit different stuff, and just be clear on what you want, figure it out, and pursue it.
Sorry, I forgot to ask you about your ritual you have before the fight, right? The cannolis and with your friends.
I forgot, yes. Oh my God.
Why you do that, or since when you do it?
It started, I don't know, it started from the first fight. I don't know how it happened. We just, after we weighed in, it just was like, oh, you guys want to go eat? And we went to this panini spot. Wow. And I had a great panini. Wow. This place is the best. And then we had cannolis. And then I ended up winning the fight. So then it was kind of like the next one came around and we were like, okay, maybe we should do it again.
Wow.
And then it happened every time, and now we have to do it. It's like a ritual. Now you have to go get the panini and get a cannoli. And
what's the place?
It's on Richmond. It's
okay.
Panino Rustico.
Okay.
It's awesome.
I'll try that. Okay, nice. Excellent. I like that ritual. It's perfect.
Yeah.
And so, what message would you give to younger fighters who are starting in this path that could help them, like in their way?
I think the number one thing I would say is that understand it's perfectly normal to not feel your best every day. There's gonna be days, I just experienced this, where I feel like almost for like 2-3 weeks, I just felt completely off. Even when I hit pads with my coach, I don't know, I felt so not myself. And just understand that that's normal. And it doesn't mean that you should stop. You just have to show up and be consistent, and it'll go away. This week for me, now I've been feeling so good this week. So I would tell them to understand it's perfectly normal to not be at the best all the time. You're gonna have ups and downs, but the most important thing is to just show up and be consistent, and everything else will take care of itself. So just be consistent, show up, know what you want to do, write down what it takes to get there, and just do those things. And that's it. Just be consistent, show up for yourself.
Great. And great advice. Thank you. So Rob, thank you so much for your time, because I know you have like a lot of training and many hours, right? So thank you. I really admire you as a fighter. We will keep looking and seeing your fights and cheer for you. And thank you.
I appreciate
your career. You're going in your career in the right way and the right direction, and it will take you to many to succeed.
Thank you very much.
Eventually, and if you go to Thailand, that will be also another experience. To see you fight over there will be great also, right?
Awesome.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. This was Rouge Mindset. Thank you, Rob.
Thank you.